This video series is based upon my book, The Dancer's Study Guide. It's available on paperback and Amazon Kindle, and you can find out more on my website, anthony-king.com. The psychology of auditions. I believe that some people should never audition for anything because the process will restrict growth and life trajectory. However, I suspect that these people are a rarity. Statistically speaking, with regard to audition specifically, you will probably fail anyway, so what is there to lose? If you read the paragraph above and were triggered, then I suggest that you are not the type of person who should even consider the route other than the traditional, i.e. auditioning, casting, or submitting to someone else's decision. However, if you are the type of person who does not submit and feels that the process will be too demeaning, no matter what the benefit, then I have a great suggestion just for you. Create projects for yourself and give yourself the starring role. Not everybody is designed to do this, but it's easier nowadays than ever before. You have a platform with social media and the tools and technology readily available to even film a movie if you want to. And although I can't offer any scientific data to back this up, only gut feeling from experience, if you are the type of person with the drive to create a project and you push it to its conclusion, then you will probably be able to push with a much higher probability of success than a simple audition where nearly every factor and variable to determine your success is out of your hands and control. Not all, but a lot. I guarantee that you will learn more, grow, and also enjoy the experience. You will at least enjoy the experience more than the 95% to 99.9% of people who are rejected. The probability of audition success. I typed into Google audition to booking ratio, and I am pleased to see that it correlates with my approximate observation of the industry, at best 5%. Or a 1 in 20 chance of audition success. Backstage.com in 2010 article entitled Booking Ratios by Secret Agent Man states, a booking ratio is exactly what it sounds like. Two numbers that represent how many jobs you've booked compared to how many auditions you've had. So if your ratio is 1 out of 20, that means it took 20 auditions for you to land one job. However, I would suggest that this is probably the average best case scenario because the author points out in the same article, one of my most promising young clients had been out on something like 40 audition and hasn't booked a single job. In reality, people can audition much more than that and get 100% rejection. Cecilia Capuzzi, New York Times, April 2008 article, Tryouts for the Rest of Your Life describes, all told, a record 1,200 students were auditioning for just 16 spots in the fall acting class or 12 in the musical theatre program. That's approximately closer to a 98% failure rate. I've seen successful people crushed psychologically because of repeated failed auditions. On the other hand, I have friends who have got an audition and become some of the most famous people in the world. I suggest that you do take action that is conducive to your own mental well-being and corresponds with your own realistic chances of success. That means that you may have an amazing record of success with auditioning and casting, and maybe you enjoy it. You should continue. However, I suggest if this is not the case, then you should invest in yourself and create your own projects, because then at least you are in control of the outcome and ultimately you can control its success and impact in the world. However, there are relatively few people who will do the work required. Relatively few people who have the drive to travel down that road, possibly less than 5%, which means that it's probably the same success rate as auditioning anyway, with the exception that you are almost 100% in control of whether you succeed or not, compared to almost 0% control when someone else is making the decisions. With that said, only you know what is the best route for you. Here are some audition tips to increase your chances and also improve your psychological well-being before, during, and after an audition. Beware. An audition is not a natural, healthy environment. It can leave you feeling drained, feeling dehumanized, and often rejected. Statistically speaking, you will almost certainly be rejected with very little feedback. Although this is normal in the entertainment industry, this is not normal in other realms of life. It is completely reasonable to be upset by this or to have a negative psychological reaction. However, it's best to know this in advance and take remedial action. There are obviously different types of audition depending on your craft. Here are some quick general tips and pointers. Audition tips and advice. Get an agent. This will make your life easier and increase your chance of success. Read the audition instructions carefully in advance and follow them carefully. Good preparation is key. Always bring an up-to-date photo picture with your CV resume. Always be professional and don't make excuses under any circumstances. Be consistent and resilient. If you choose to audition, go all the way and all in. Remember that your first impression is key. Walk in with confidence, good posture and smile. Keep your energy up until you leave the building area, not just the room. You might still bump into somebody important on your way out. Dress appropriately, and if this is not stated, dress smart casual. Pick material that is personally linked to you, something that you are passionate about. Psych yourself up and make sure that you prepare your energy levels so that you are ready. Make eye contact and don't worry, this is meaningless in the grand scheme of the universe anyway. Once it's over, let it go and refocus on the next one. Don't think about it again unless to analyze and actively work on improving your technique.